Welcome back to the workshop. We're in the shop today working on a little Honda generator. This is a Honda EU2200i. It's looks like a pretty nice little unit. I don't know what the Bluetooth is on it, but got a couple of 110 outlets. Looks like that's about all there is there. Got a little place for that. The problem with this one is there's supposed to be a pull cord here, and it's not. Here we go. It breaks off. So I've heard that these are nice little units. I've never worked on one myself, so we're going to have to figure this one out and see what we can go from there. These things are pretty good at packaging everything away so you can't get to them, I think. So I think the first thing we're going to need to do is remove the screw on this and pop this open and see if we can see what's going on in here. Let's see here. That cord goes in, and let's see, can you even see? Yeah, there it is. As you can see, there's no way to get to this thing without taking the case all the way apart, it looks like, and that's pretty much what I've always heard. If you got to work on one of these things, you just plan on taking it apart to get to anything. So we're going to go ahead and pull this thing apart, see what we can get into, and we'll kind of give you a little bit as we go along. I'm going to say we need, what do we got? Get the back cover off. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws back there. That'll pull that off. And probably 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4. Gets the front cover back off of there. And then we've got a couple up here to get these off. So we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started on that. See if we can get all these pulled loose. I'm going to try to probably fast forward through all this stuff for you. Just kind of show you me working on it. We'll see just how bad this thing is. Hopefully I don't get my arms and all in the way so you can actually see that I'm doing something here. So with that, without further ado, we'll get started. Okay, looks like somebody about Loctited those. I'm going to have to get me something to put some wrench on that one. So give me a minute, we'll break those loose. Okay, we got us a tool here. We just took a number 2, made sure we had one that fits in there because that thing is tight. And we throw a little ratchet on there and give us some leverage, and I busted them loose. So now after they're loose, I can go ahead and probably finish taking them apart with the screw gun. Okay, these feet look like they need to come off also, so we've got us a, I believe it's 10 millimeter. We're going to go ahead and see if we can pop them off. I think I'm down to the point now. I've got to get this one. I think there's 3 of them, it looks like. One down here on this side and one way down in the bottom. So this still ain't going to be real easy, but we're going to have to take all that off to get the rope in there. So let's see if I can get a wrench on that and get them out of there. Somebody wasn't kidding when they said this thing was a total tear down to get to it. It's not a quick little project, that's for sure. But 10mm wrench is what it takes to get everything apart. That and a good Phillips screwdriver. That one's loose. Let's see if I can even get into this next one. Okay, we got the part out. Now, one thing I will say on these screws are definitely put in tight. I ended up doing that with several of them with a wrench, and make sure you have a good Phillips tip because you will strip those tops out real easily. We got the part out. We'll go ahead now and see if we can restring this one and go from there. But boy, they weren't lying when you said you had to tear the thing down. It's all the way. So, all right. So for this one here, we're just going to, let's see if we can catch something here for you. And let me see what we're showing you here. All right, so the string, let's see if we can kind of, usually, I don't want to unwind the whole thing. We lost probably a couple spins on this. So we'll go ahead and pull this out. You can see the string is definitely shot. And we'll line that back up so that it lines up with our other hole here. And then we can grab a hold of this and just pull this string on out, get rid of it, because it's no good. And that gives us about the length plus the other. And then so that we don't have to do a whole lot more on this, I think we lost probably part of a turn. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this one more time to make sure that we've got it fully returned. And we line that hole back up again. And then with that right there, I like to just take a clamp. You can use a screwdriver or whatever to put in this thing to hold it in place. I usually just take me a little grip clip and clamp it down. And then we'll figure out how much string we need. We've got another one here. And I believe I want to make sure that I'm about the same size, and I think 4mm string is what they had in there, so that's what I'm going to replace is a 4mm. We'll go ahead and see how much length we actually had to have. It's going to be that much plus this. I've got 2 pieces of string here, or pull cord here, so we'll see if this one's going to be just enough. So we should be good with that. We'll go ahead and pull that on through. We'll be good. So for that we need to back feed through this and into the little hole here if we can get it. And once you get it through that, just tie a good little knot in it. Whatever you think works best for you. I'm no fancy knot tire by any means, but make sure it's something that's not going to come apart. And it won't slip back through that hole. Okay. Now, once we've done that, we can release this. And don't let the string go all the way in. because you don't want to lose it. And make sure it goes in far enough. Okay. Almost could go another one, I think. I might go ahead and take this around one more time. So we're going to go ahead and, this is going to be a little bit bad because we don't really, I'm going to have to undo the rope and push it back through again. But that's all right. We got one extra wrap around it. Let's take this rope back out. And we'll swing it back through from the back side here. I think we can get it. It's a little easier the other direction, but I thought we'd have had enough. There we go. Okay, we'll try it one more time. That's just about perfect right there, I think. So we'll be good to go. And now we start putting it all back together. So we'll go ahead and let that sit there, and we'll start sticking it back in. The river washers go back here, not up front. That's what I was messing up on. Struggling with something I didn't need to. Okay. Okay, we've got her put back together. The last thing we have to do is take a screwdriver and pop our existing handle off of here. Pick that cover off. Pull this on out. See if we can get rid of it. Might be too big a knot. We'll just cut that off. There we go. And what we'll want to do is pull this on out. And don't lose it back in there, because then we'll be in trouble. There we go. And feed it back through the handle, tie a knot in it, and we should be good to go. You do want to make sure that, I think that's going to be good. We'll tie it a little bit tight, just up to the first one here. Make sure you don't do it too loose, because you want to make sure it pulls the handle all the way back in. And that looks like that's going to do, so we'll put another knot on it. So we can turn it over a little bit. Throw a second knot, make sure she's tight. That there. Trim a little bit of rope off that's left. Slide the cover back on. Looks like that's going to work fine. We'll go ahead and slide the cover back on here. Take that down. And there we go. That's about got the project knocked out. Boy, that's a lot of tearing it up to get to just to do the recoil on that thing. It's a nice little compact unit, but that's a lot of work to get that in there. So anyways, I think we're in good shape. I think it looks like it's all back together the way it was. So hopefully if you have to tear one apart, this kind of gives you an idea what you have to do. And we'll go on to the next project. Appreciate you taking time to watch the video. Give me any feedback, comments. I always like to read those. And thumbs up. It all helps the algorithm and puts my videos out there for more people. So appreciate it. And we'll talk to you on the next project.